Hey, how's everybody doing? This is John Wydogan with the Natural Freedom League. Just doing a quick reaction review video about the new Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma. So I've watched the movie twice, once by myself and once with my 12 and 14-year-old, because I thought it was important for them to see how these algorithms work and how the social media is directed to you personally, kind of targeting you, sort of giving you what you're interested in. The fact that different people are going to see different things on their Google search or on their news feed while they're scrolling through their social media. That was the first part of the movie, where you had the people who actually built these algorithms and these systems for monetizing the social media platforms. I did think that part was interesting. However, I also think that that's something that most of us have known on some level. We've all had that experience where you're talking about a product or you mention a product and then all of a sudden the ad for that product pops up. So we've all known on some level that the algorithms are built in a way where it's paying attention to what we're interested in and then giving us advertisement for those types of products. The part that I thought was really telling about the movie, and is also very telling about Netflix in general, is when they got into what they were describing as fake news. They start off talking about the flat earth conspiracy and how, if you got into looking into it, then the algorithm would give you more and more flat earth information. And it gets into how Kyrie Irving, the basketball player, went down the rabbit hole and started talking about the flat earth theory, and then it got mainstream. Once they get into that topic, they start conflating all of the conspiracies together, which I'm very aware of, being involved in the health freedom movement. One of the tactics that you notice when you're out at a rally or something like that is people who oppose what we're saying and our ideas. They'll say, well, what, are you a flat earther too? So basically they go to the most extreme conspiracy and they conflate it with this other conspiracy that has a lot of evidence supporting it. There's plenty of evidence showing that vaccines cause injury and that it is something that should be questioned. And it's just a way to discredit you. It's just like calling you a conspiracy theorist. The other thing they got into was the Pizzagate conspiracy theory. If you listen to the mainstream media, the way that they spin it, they'll say the Pizzagate conspiracy is that Hillary Clinton was running a child trafficking ring through a basement of a pizza parlor. But if you actually look at the evidence of what Pizzagate is, it's based on the John Podesta emails and the WikiLeaks dump of those emails. And there's a lot of strange emails in there and a lot of strange coded language and also a lot of strange imagery in these pizza parlors involved with these people in these emails. That's the basis of that theory. But if you watch the mainstream media, they take the simplest little way of describing it, and that's how they get people to not look into it and also just to discredit it right away. They never actually go through the details of what led people to believe that there was something strange going on and that it looked like there is evidence that these people may be trafficking children. Not anywhere did it say that Hillary Clinton was in the basement of a pizza parlor, torturing children. It's much more nuanced than that. But the movie Social Dilemma sort of lumps all those conspiracy theories in together And then instead of actually debunking them, they just sort of assume that people are going to think that these are ridiculous. The movie then moves to this huge concern that this type of thinking, this type of questioning of authority and of what's going on, looking at evidence, looking at information that's coming out on the internet, WikiLeaks dumps, email hacks, whatever the information might be, whatever the source of the information, the movie then shifts into this concern for society and blames it all on the internet and the way that the social media releases this information to people. And to me, it then takes a tone of pushing for some type of regulation, which I would say is coded language for censorship. Because who's going to arbitrate what the truth is? The movie is implying that we are all too dumb to figure out what's true, and that the access to all this information is a negative thing. And I would completely disagree with that. And that is where I think if you watch Netflix documentaries from this perspective, you'll realize that it is a lot of propaganda to push this agenda, which would support Facebook fact checkers and some type of authority that will tell you what you should believe, what you should think is true, what is a trusted source, when people like me, people that I know, would know that the Facebook fact checkers are not a trusted source, that we would say that the mainstream media is the fake news. When they say something like, oh, the Pizzagate theory is that Hillary Clinton is running a child trafficking ring through a pizza parlor basement, that's not even the theory. That's actually the fake news. If it was real news, they would get into, well, why do people believe this? What is the evidence? What are these people reading that's making them believe this? So that's my take on the documentary, The Social Dilemma, on Netflix. I think it's interesting to watch, but keep in mind the tone that they set at the end, which seems to be a push for some type of regulation, some type of fact-checking, some type of arbiter of truth, when in reality, we all need to be accountable and responsible for ourselves, and we need to look at all available sources of information and decipher for ourselves. Use discernment to figure out what you understand as being the truth. That's the way we solve our problems in this world, not by relying on some authority to tell us what's real and what's not real. All right, check the movie out. Tell me what you think about my take on it, and I will talk to you all very soon. Again, John Waidogan, naturalfreedomleague.com. Check us out. Have a good day, guys.